Welcome everybody back to my channel. I'm DDK. This is QuakeLive Plays episode 11 and upping that production value, and things are looking pretty good. The game we're going to play here is Cypher versus Fazz, Furious Heights. So this should be a really interesting one. Fazz is a guy that always kind of has Cypher's number, so let's see if he can do it this time. So let's jump into the game, and here we go. Just get this going live. And right, so Fazz with that spawn right there on the red, and we can see he went straight for the LG here, and as he was so quick with the spawn, he's actually able to do this, and it's a little bit of a risk because he doesn't know exactly where Cypher's spawned, but it's fine, and you can see that this actually works out pretty okay damage wise, and actually Cypher goes back up the jump pad and he promptly dies. And Fazz promptly dies. So it's kind of a weird situation. But now Fazz is just thinking about, okay, so just died. And we'll just quickly tap here so I can see what's going on OBS. Oop. So Fazz just died, of course. And he's in a position now where we can see the next red is going to spawn at 25. He's only got a rail and 50 armor, so he can't really challenge for this because Cypher's got everything, and Cypher is definitely going to know to go for this. So Fazz just has to stay on the outskirts, just keep the timing up, and see if he can deal some damage. Let's see what he does. Does get one rail, so he's got Cypher screaming. Cypher actually does go down there, so some good play there. And Fazz couldn't do anything but just take pot shots from that distance, and because he got the rails, is actually able to get the kill and pick up the red. So really nice save after that crazy beginning. Puts the pressure up on the Mega, which is the really good second move, executing really well. So it's just really simple right now from Fazz, just really simple decisions. And now it's the red again, and it's going to spawn right now. And there is Cypher, and Fazz is in such a good spot until that happened. Chasing through that teleporter to get the frag instead of just picking up the item has really cost Fazz quite heavily. And now Cypher's going to be the one hitting the rails. So really tough times now for Fazz as he's got no weapons. Cypher's just using the range. Nothing Fazz can do but die off the spawn. Gets hit again down to 45 there. So things are looking quite grim indeed for Fazz. These few deaths, really, there wasn't much for him to really get to do. It's just kind of unlucky where he spawned and so on. But now he just picked up the yellow. So let's think about some of his options at the moment. So Fazz is really thinking about trying to establish some weapons right now. And he knows that the Mega was taken quite about 15 seconds ago probably. So right now it's the next big item should be a red. So as I stutter on my words. So Fazz is just thinking about weapons and good positions at the moment, just avoiding Cypher because he's in such a terrible spot. So this is just out of control play. That's all Fazz has to worry about. You can see he picks up the rocket there, spots Cypher, and this is a really bad spot. He's got nowhere to go. He's kind of trapped, and it should be an easy frag here for Cypher. Oh, almost not quite going to finish Fazz. But Fazz is incredibly low. But if he survives with his weapons, that'd be great. He doesn't. So 2-5 now, and it's like Fazz is having a really rough time with this. So Mega should be nowish, and there comes Cypher to challenge. And this was another situation of a gamble gone wrong. Fazz went for the LG, gambling that Cypher would take the other entrance to the Mega room, like either whether it be low or in the mid-high area or from the grenade deck. And now Fazz, I think, is getting a little impatient. So getting kind of abused off the spawns. So if things can continue to go this way, I have no intention of talking about out of control play for 8 minutes, so we'll see how things go for Fazz. Let's see if he can turn it around and get some interesting situations going. So here's a really nice fight that Fazz found. Not hitting the best LG in the world, but it's enough to get the job done. So what he basically did there was he just took position, and an opportunity just presented itself. Sometimes that happens. Like he just took LG, walked into the red armor kind of area, and was like, okay, what can I do here? And his Quaker instincts told him to go for the fight after he saw Cypher jumping, about to jump across for the rocket launcher, and Cypher hadn't yet spotted Fazz. So it's again pretty simple stuff going on here generally. So now it's actually 3-7, and a 4 frag margin isn't that bad on this map. So and it's still very early on. So Fazz has really turned the momentum around, but we've got Mega coming up in about 15 seconds, it should be. So Fazz needs to make a play onto that really. It looks like he's going to actually just take this red first. And the time is probably clashing. It does appear to be the case if my timing is correct. So he will get there a little bit too slow. And brilliant play there from Cypher. So he realized as he was just sat on the kind of mid areas that he knows that Fazz hasn't kind of traversed into the other half of the map yet, but he's going to need to do that if he wants to challenge for the Mega. So Cypher, again, he's just keeping the top position, even though it's a tiny bit of risk, because if Fazz does go lower, he can get position on the Mega if he takes a teleporter on the other side of the map. But Cypher goes for this kind of gamble, just staying high, leaving the Mega up. And you can see that he catches Fazz here. And this is a very key concept that is really important to just understand. Like, by understanding where your opponent is, you understand what items you can leave up, which allows you or opens up opportunities to pressure your opponent with damage. And this even could turn into a frag as well. So now we have Fazz just going on the lower side here, and actually the Mega hadn't spawned. It's a bit later than I had presumed, so regardless, the same principle does apply, and it's all about controlling space and your opponent, where your opponent can move. So Fazz is doing a really good job, just like moving through to the to each item, and just like picking something up along the way whilst dealing damage, because Cypher's continually pressuring him. So Fazz is going to win the next red armor. What does he do with this? Well, 50 is the next mega health, so he wants to preserve his stack as much as he can. But you can see what Cypher's doing here, and I just got to pause to point this out, is he's maintaining that position, holding that position, because Fazz, again, mega spawns in 10 seconds, 11 seconds, and so Fazz needs to really have a good approach through to that fight. And right now, if Cypher controls that one spot, he's removing the biggest possible strength from Fazz's attack into mega, and stopping him from even being able to put himself there first on a better position, so that Cypher's attacking into him. Instead, it's going to be the other way around, giving Cypher a bit of an edge on the mega fight. But let's see how it actually goes. Cypher actually decided, we heard one jump, and Fazz heard it too. You can see him turning around there. And so far, things are very calm. And actually, Cypher goes for the red armor instead of waiting for that mega health, which is interesting. And Fazz was actually going to make the play for the red anyway. And he heard that initial jump towards the kind of other Fazz's side of the map, the red side of the map. So that's, I think, another reason why he kind of waited there. And it turned out really well for him. And now Fazz, as he makes his way over here, has another red to look forward to very soon. But he's doing what Cypher was doing, which is holding on to his position. And he just heard Cypher stepping there. He had one jump, so let's see where this goes. And there he goes, an opportunity. Goes for the rail, misses it though. And he knows that Cypher's low, so he can just go safely for the drop here with the covering rockets as he did. So mega, and I think it should be around 40. I think it got delayed quite a bit now, so I'll have to double check what time it is now. But Fazz is going to pick up that yellow, and he's really in a great position now to start making some combat frags. He actually we saw him, but I guess Fazz with the lower fob there didn't see Cypher on the map there. But he picks up that mega, and now the situation for Fazz is about constantly running these items whilst putting pressure on Cypher and reading where Cypher's going to go to avoid Fazz, to get damage and to eventually get a frag. That's what Fazz is putting his hopes on. He misses the rail here, which is kind of annoying, but he will get the items around here, the red included. And you can see, he can afford to just leave it up for a little bit because he knows Cypher isn't nearby. Oh, just switching away from the right weapon in time there. And despite a very hectic start, things have really stabilized now for Fazz. So he's going to make his way here for the approach onto Mega. So Mega should be pretty soon, I think. So let's see when it is exactly, and we'll try to keep an eye on it. And Cypher doing the typical pressure things, pressure plays. And again, Fazz can't, the only thing that Fazz has to do now is just play very simply. He just has to keep it simple and just execute pretty well on the shots that Cypher allows him. There were two opportunities for a shot recently that Fazz had. One, Fazz switched away from the rail so he couldn't hit the shot, and there Cypher was was looking into the room to see what Fazz was doing, and maybe potentially with a rail as well to rail Fazz, and that was another opportunity that Fazz didn't use to actually get a frag there, or sorry, rather get some damage there. And all the meanwhile, because he's not able to control Cypher's stack, Cypher's actually at some point going to make a big play. and he will be at a little bit of a disadvantage, but Cypher will pick the moment that he'll make that play, and he'll do it in a way that that either makes it so that the stacks are effectively even, like, you know, picking a big item up during a fight, or he'll get the first rocket, something like that. So let's see how this goes, because Cypher should be getting a bit scary at this point. Fazz should be getting a bit worried, because despite the 200-200, Cypher should be on something around 200 armor right now. That's what Fazz can logically assume from the fact that he's done very little damage to Cypher. And again, you know, Cypher's, you know, backing off, and eventually Cypher will just stop and just fight to try to get some cheeky damage in to even up the stacks and then make a play on the item. But that was a great situation for Fazz. Now Cypher just gets the hell out of there. You can actually hear him screaming there, so perhaps he wasn't quite as armor stacked as we thought. And so now Fazz, that's going to be the cue for him to actually get aggressive. He's going to get crazy now. He can just bulldog Cypher down, but he has to do it in a way that makes sense around the items so that he doesn't compromise his position for the big items, because that's what Cypher is always going to be thinking of, because he knows a way back in the game as if Fazz gets too zealous on his pursuit for a frag and leaves an item up that can be, you know, that Cypher can get position over and then pick it up. So Fazz, you know, leaving that yellow up, he just wants to get this rail. Cypher hits one there. You've got to be so careful. If you give Cypher easy shots, he's going to hit them. So definitely I'm giving a lot of respect to Cypher here, and he is very, very good. And oh my goodness, that was really exactly the spot that Cypher was looking for. Now Cypher knows he's in a very, very good spot to retake the map. But because he's got the lead, let's just like talk about this. Because Cypher's got the lead, let's like assess the situation. So he just did like an absurd amount of damage to Fazz, and he knows that he probably took at least 200 stack off Fazz, but there was a mega waiting for Fazz as well. So he knows that Fazz is killable, most certainly, if he can find a fight. But what Cypher would be more interested in right now is maintaining a run on the items, because what Fazz really needs is frags, and the only way for him to get frags is to get a really favorable situation through either an ambush, which is risky, and he ends up, you know, it's so risky he could throw the game away, or instead Fazz is going to want to make a more solid play where he has, he's able to take some items, and then win a fight, and then maintain the cycle, so he's kind of healthy, so he can take another fight, win another fight, and so on. Because if Fazz goes for a really risky play now, he risks just trading, and in the long term, it doesn't do anything for him. So by keeping control away from Fazz, what that means is that Fazz will never be able to have a situation which has the implications of returning on 4 frags, basically. So let's see how this goes. We've got 3 minutes left, so things are getting very bad for Fazz. Again, every bit of damage now is really painful. You can see he's a bit he's a tiny bit flustered there. He's like, after taking that rail, he knows how bad it was. And this, if he dies, it's kind of a GG situation, because he loses all of his weapons, and the map is going to be pretty easy for Cypher to just cycle now. Let's see if Fazz can do it though. Good rocket though from Fazz. They're just trying to do what he can with the rocket. There's nothing else. He's got 2 left now, and he misses the rocket jump. That's got to be GG right there. And 6 frags of difference now for these 2 guys. Now, because this is an analysis series, I'd like to actually try to, you know, really call the game when it's lost. Technically, this game should have been lost on the last couple of frags or so. I mean, Fazz had an opportunity right before that LG situation happened, but as Cypher kind of plays it perfectly after the LG elevation, I think that basically he's won the game right there if he plays technically correct and doesn't miss anything ridiculous. So Fazz, I mean, he can always, it's Quake, so you can always do something crazy, but I really don't think that there's much worth talking about now. So we'll just see how things go in the next 30 seconds or so, and then decide whether to call it. I think we're gonna probably call it very soon. So definitely some good points made in this video. So despite seeing another Fazz demo where, you know, with his POV where he lost, gonna have to find one where he actually wins. It's kind of great to see both the POV of the loser as well, because there's just as many valuable concepts to discuss and analyze as there is in the perspective of the winning player too. So it doesn't make so much of a difference. So he has managed to get a stack together. And this, Quake is about winning the game. It's not about getting a frag. And when we're doing commentary, we often talk about, oh, you can get some frags or something. But maybe he can get some frags, but can he win the game? Those are like two entirely different things, as I described before. Like, there is such a thing as short-term implications and long-term implications. And right now, his long-term implications look quite terrible, especially after taking all that damage. It's a good flick rail though, and he does get the frag, but poor Fazz is gonna really struggle from here on out. So finding Cypher again for another frag, and actually forces the spawn there. I mean, that's another thing you should look out for, is how you force spawns on some maps. It can be a little bit broken. So he's actually put it to 3 frags now. So I don't even know how he got those 3 frags. And this is just the magic of Quake. So let's see if Fazz is actually good for this, because I know that he's a crazy comeback player. So he's going to find some more damage onto Cypher. Another frag as well. Cypher thought he could make the play on the red. And off the spawn, that's like incredibly lucky to get that. I feel like a retard now. I feel like a retard, because Fazz is actually doing this. And I think I watched this game like some months ago, but I completely forgot what happened. And Fazz just tied the game up with 10 seconds left, so I feel like a dummy. But let's look at this now, because we have a game on our hands. It's live. So Fazz is definitely looking to play the overtime here, looking for some shots. Problem is that he can't really risk taking a rail at the moment, because if he takes a rail, his ability to make a strong challenge on the next red is quite weak. So, and that's what he really needs. And this is what he didn't take a rail, so he's able to just be here. And Cypher won't be close there because he didn't do enough damage to warrant a close range fight. So he's just gonna try to poke from distances, and that's what he's trying to do. But he didn't get any damage. Instead, Fazz did. So now Fazz is in the upper hand in this situation. And Fazz, this is just a testament to staying in the game, even when it looks like it's lost. Because Fazz just kept his focus, even though his situation looked really, really bad. He didn't really, like, he wasn't really flustered, to be honest. He was just playing the game, and it turned out well. So right now, Fazz is in a really, really fantastic position. So let's talk quickly about the overtime situation right here. So we've got a minute left. They're both tied, and Cypher's most certainly playing for the overtime. So what should Fazz do? He's got 180, 200. So again, I think the principle here is to play the long game and to try to... Well, there's 2 ways to look at it. You can either play the long game, which is like the standard safe play, or you can instead, depending on how you feel, because it's Cypher, try to kind of force something, play a little bit more risky. Because with Cypher, sometimes if you give him more time, which you can do if you're just playing it standard and trying to wait for a good spot, if you're just taking it slow, then that is essentially giving Cypher more chances to get back in the game. And if he's the better player, or if he and honestly, one of his best skill sets is coming back from a terrible situation, then it almost in some weird, bizarre sense kind of favors him. So there is definitely, I think, an argument for Fazz to get quite aggressive. But again, against Cypher's incredible rail and Cypher's incredible fighting skills, you've got to be very careful about being aggressive in the wrong spots. So Fazz right now, after that rail, he knows he's bought himself quite a bit of time, and if he can find another rail in the next 20 seconds, he's going to be very close to a frag. So he's going to look for that, and definitely not. He doesn't need to try to risk his control here. And he did some fake jumps there to bait out a rocket, so that he could then jump through the choke point while Cypher was on the reload with the rocket launcher. So the very, very small move, but very big implications sometimes. And is it me, or did Fazz misread Cypher's position there? I'm not sure actually, but either way, Fazz just cycling the items as he should, and he is taking the slow and safe approach. He's just keeping the item cycle going and trying to hit the shots. And so far he's hitting the shots. He's keeping the control of Cypher's stack, and he hits Cypher with the great rockets. That's the frag right there. So again, he just needs to play it simple and standard. Doesn't need to do anything crazy. It's now Cypher, and often This kind of concept applies to RTS games massively as well, because in RTS games it's a little bit more clear cut in some senses. In this way it's clear cut too, but when you're in a situation where you kind of are with the winning situation in the game, you got to ask yourself the question: how can I lose this game? So how can Fazz lose this game? Fazz loses this game if he has a really bad fight and misses everything. And there's ways to mitigate that: having good positions, having more stack, having ammunition, all that kind of stuff. And the other ways are like being ambushed. So you've got to kind of stay clear of key ambush spots. Like getting LG'd like he did before. Like there's all these little things and things that he needs to think about to avoid, to make sure that he doesn't like fall into any situation, because he's got such a strong stack that it should in theory be possible for him to survive with this for at least 2 minutes or something similar. And he finds the frag on Cypher as Cypher goes up the stairs. So that's very, very fortunate. Unlucky for Cypher, and that should actually be the game there for Fazz, right there. Unless Cypher again in the last minute and a half, like Fazz did, does some crazy stuff. Because what happened was Cypher got a bit complacent because he had so many frags in the lead, and he kind of expected Fazz, like even if he got a frag, that he would, that would be it. But Fazz got really lucky on the spawns and stuff, and he executed very well too. And he went for he made all the right decisions on which place to go, like which armor to go for. And so Fazz kind of played it perfectly and executed perfectly in that little moment, in that series of moments, which just barely got him the overtime. So unless that same situation happens for Cypher, we should be good. Someone left Facebook open. It may have been me. And there it goes again. So I'm just going to pause this quickly whilst I close that. My bad. There we go. Sorry about that. So here we have Fazz making his way back now to the upper areas. Okay, let's look at this position. He's just taking good spots. Just taking good spots. Like, what can Cypher do here? If Cypher tries to attack him, he has ways to escape. Amazing rocket there, but even still, Cypher gets some low, some good rails, and Fazz hits one of his own. So you could make an argument there that Fazz shouldn't have stayed in for that rail. It was a risk, but he hit the shot, which the long-term implication of that's much better, because look how weak Cypher is. He is just screaming, and the LG will just finish Cypher off now. So the long-term implication of hitting that rail was really good, but there was a big risk to actually sticking around, because if Fazz had gotten a hit and not returned it, Cypher can actually push Fazz off the next Mega and have a really strong opportunity to kill him. So there you go. There it is, the end of the game. And I hope you guys enjoyed episode number 11 of QuakeLive Plays. Let me know what you think about the improved production value. And I'm keeping the kind of community QuakeLive Plays episode, the kind of you can submit yourself to be in that episode by just sending me a tweet. I think to Wednesday, I think is the date I set, to next Wednesday. So that is, let's see, that is the 15th. So you have until the 15th. Send me a tweet if you want to be in the next episode, community episode of QuakeLive Plays, and I'll analyze your demo and we'll look at stuff, and it'll be awesome. So stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, watch all the other videos, and let me know what you think. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.